Mr. Gould. I'm going to be your math teacher this semester. I wanted to introduce you to myself and my math class. And real quickly, this is the office I usually use. I have a whiteboard. I use a lot of videos. And obviously, you've made it to the first lesson of the semester. It's the course overview. And I'm just going to go over my course real quickly, procedures, policies, and a couple things that hopefully will help you this semester in my course. Number one being, don't ever get behind. Number two, stay in contact with me. And number three, try to do math on a daily basis. Even if it's only for 25 minutes a day, that daily basis, keeps all the math fresh in your mind, and it prevents you from getting behind. So let's go ahead and open up that course overview and go over the material on that real quickly. Okay, now I'm inside the course overview, and this is the material you're looking at, and I scrolled down a little bit, and it tells you what you need to learn in the course. By the end of the course, the student will be expected to know, and then it gives you an idea of the resources. I'm going to go over those resources real quickly. It's always good to have paper and pencil whenever you're working on any math. And with online math, a lot of kids try to do the math in their head, and it can get a little complicated, and it's much simpler if you have paper and pencil with you when you're going through the lessons, definitely the quizzes and tests. And I recommend, it's not mandatory, but I recommend you have a calculator. And most phones have a calculator. Most computers have a calculator option, an online calculator. Or you can use the old-fashioned hard calculator, and that's what I use. And you're going to need a scanner or have a digital camera so that you can download and upload some of the assignments. Because as you'll see when we get to the unit overview, I have study guides. And those study guides are basically practice quizzes and practice tests. And you're going to have to download those, complete them, and then submit them to me, or at least at a minimum, submit your answers to me to get credit. And we'll talk about that more later. Real quickly, there are 4 types of assignments in my course. There are lessons. Lessons count as 25% of your grade. And with each lesson, you have 3 attempts. You need to get at least a 75% on a lesson to pass it. And like I said, you have 3 attempts to get a 75. After your 3rd attempt, if you don't get a 75, you're just stuck with that grade, no matter how low that is. So if after lesson 1 you don't pass the lesson, you might think about giving me a call, and maybe we could work through it together. Quizzes and tests, you only get 1 attempt at each of those. So when you take a quiz or a test, remember, 1, prepare. Take time to review. You'll complete the study guide, and that should be excellent preparation. My study guides are questions that are very similar to the questions that are going to be on that quiz. Or a study guide for a test is going to contain questions that are very similar to the questions on the test. So if you are completing the study guides, you'll do very well in this class. And lastly, there are projects, a few projects. A project usually, this is an activity. It might be something like attending a live class, or they might have you construct some type of structure or figure, or take some measurements around your house. But it's some type of mathematic project, and they usually require you to submitting something to me. So we have lessons, which are 25% of your grade, projects, which are 10% of your grade, quizzes, which are 30% of your grade, and tests, which are 35% of your grade. And again, quizzes and tests, you can only take those once, so make sure you're prepared once you sit down to take the quiz or test, including having paper and pencil And I highly recommend a calculator with you. Again, you'll notice the italicized policy. We will not accept blank assignments. If you submit a blank assignment, I'm going to send it back to you. You're going to have to redo it. If you do that multiple times, then we'll have a conference about that. If it continues, then the vice principal will likely be contacting you. Speaking of contacting, I want you guys to contact me at least once a week. I'm your teacher. I'm here to help you. So let me know how I can help you. If things go bad, contact me. Let me know before you get behind. So I ask all my students to contact me once a week. You can just send me a message, send me an email, call me, send me a letter, however you want. OW, OdysseyWare, which is the curriculum program we use, has an automatic messaging component within it. You can send me messages through OdysseyWare, but just let me know if things are going well, or if you need a little help, or if you're getting behind, or if you're ahead, but just stay in contact. And then in the overview, you can see all my contact information. My name, my email, my phone number, my Skype address, my office hours. I'm always available. And then I have a live office where I actually go in and am available to work on a two-way program where we can talk to each other. It's like Skype. We can talk to each other. We can share screens. There's a whiteboard. I can write on it. You can write on it. So the live class is a really great way to work through some assignments that might be a little hard for you. So if you're ever having a problem, any problems with the assignment, hit the whiteboard. Okay, and this is what a unit overview looks like. Whoops. Let me go back to where we were. This is what a unit overview looks like. For all classes, they're very similar. See if I can scroll down. There's good information in here. There we go. So number one, always have paper and something to write with when completing math assignments. That's important. Number two, keep a notebook. Remember, with online school, you have the luxury of using your notebook when you take quizzes and exams. So take advantage of that. Write your formulas down. If there's problems, solve a couple problems, and then you can reference that when you're working through a quiz or a exam. Remember, with online school, it's like every test is an open book exam. Review before taking quizzes and tests. And this is a big difference between your traditional schools and online school. We don't have a review day. We don't get together to review. So that's on you. So make sure you take time to review before you take your quizzes and tests, because you only get one chance at each quiz or test. And if you remember, quizzes are 30% of your grade and tests are 35%. And contact me whenever you want. I'm always here to help you. So next in the unit overview, you'll see I have study guides available for each quiz and a study guide for each test. And you're required to complete those study guides. They'll actually be an individual lesson where you'll complete the study guide. So at this point, I usually ask students to download those study guides and the test and then complete them when you get to the end of right before quiz 1. You'll want to complete that quiz 1 study guide, and there'll be a lesson asking you to do that. Right before quiz 2, you'll complete the quiz 2 study guide. Right before quiz 3, you'll complete the quiz 3 study guide. And before the test, I highly recommend you complete the unit test study guide. Next up, you'll see I have review videos. And these are videos where I'm working through the study guides. So if you're working through the study guide and you have some questions, you can just watch one of my videos, and I actually work through every problem on that study guide. Next up, I have some additional resources for you that I find very helpful. They have instructional videos, and they're usually pretty short. So you can just go to Khan Academy or Purple Math and type in kind of the type of problem you would like to view someone solving, and they'll solve it for you. So those are additional resources outside myself. And then to get credit, you have to answer the question associated with this. And basically, I just want to know that you downloaded the study guides. All right, that's it. And number 1, stay in contact. Number 2, don't get behind. Thank you.